Hi, we're Blair Wedding Studio, and we recently just completed another wedding. This time it took place in Long Beach at the Maya. We did Summer and Matt Upton's wedding.
Yeah.
And she's a good friend of mine, so it was really great to share the day with her.
Yeah, it's always fun to do work with friends. I mean, there's that significance, but when I think about doing a wedding with a friend versus someone that we don't know, this is our first contact with them, I like that when we work with them, I feel like our attitude is the same. Like everyone we do business with, we consider our friend. If we're capturing your big day, you're our friend, and we want to treat you like our friends. And so it's nice to actually do work with friends, because there's no but yeah, I mean, the venue was cool. That skyline, it's like right on the water. What's that waterfront? I mean, it's just the
it's the harbor.
Yeah,
Long Beach Harbor.
Yeah, the harbor right there. So you get the Long Beach skyline as a view, right next to that bridge too, which is really cool. Got some cool time lapse of that. One thing about the day, as good as the venue was it rained.
And there was 0% chance of rain. So everyone kept telling the bride that it's good luck if it rains on your wedding day, but I don't think any bride wants to hear that on their wedding day.
They don't feel lucky in the moment.
Yeah, so she had a great attitude about it, and the sun peeked through right before her ceremony, and she was able to have, the ceremony of her dreams as she planned, and it worked out. But something that was really great about the venue and the wedding planner that we worked with, who was Christine Miller with
from
517. They were really great to work with because they really had a lot of options for Plan B, and I think that's something that was really great and eased the bride and groom's tension in their families about what was going to happen when their guests show up and it's raining, was that they had a Plan B and they had some beautiful locations that were offered.
Christine Miller and her team did awesome. As soon as they showed up on the site, and it was like raining already, I mean, she handled it. I mean, she came there with solutions, and real solutions. I mean, sometimes you work with planners and they give you solutions and none of them are good solutions. I mean, they're hardly solutions, but she came in, real solutions. It was amazing to see her work because she knew exactly what the options are, and she knew what the bride wanted. I mean, you could tell that there was a relationship there, that they had done that, and that they were ready to just kill it as far as getting it accomplished. Tip number 1 for this video is have a Plan B. I know it's hard to think about, and you probably schedule your day. No way there's gonna be rain. It could be like forecast, go on weather.com and see like the crazy forecast, pay money for that book that predicts the weather. I don't suggest doing that. But doesn't matter what you think the day is going to be like, have a Plan B if your wedding's outside. Always think about, what are we going to do if it rains? Because you want to be prepared.
Yeah, and a lot of people get married during summer, but people don't think about what if it's so hot, like what could you provide your guests just in case, like little fans or something. You're going to need more water, a lot of water if you have it outdoors, even when if it's super hot. So kind of think about the weather and always know that there is some chance of rain or heavy winds.
Yeah, and also about the heat. Like when you're picking out a venue, think about shade. Think about if your guests want to escape the heat, is there a place that they can do that? As well as if it's cold, can they escape the cold? So having a Plan B is something that we strongly encourage doing, as hard as it is to think, and you want to be optimistic and put the right energy into the universe, or whatever your philosophy is on that. You should have a Plan B, just because it's going to make the day less stressful. Isn't there like a Alanis Morissette song like Rainy Day, raining on your wedding day?
Isn't it ironic?
Isn't it ironic? Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Anyways. So that leads to tip 2. Which
Alanis Morissette is awesome transition
awesome
to tip.
Segue into tip 2. Tip 2 is really about, because of all these kind of new changes that went on, luckily they had built in so much extra time into their schedule. And I think that was really great, is they gave themselves a lot of time for pictures so that there was this buffer room for when the lighting was good and when the weather cleared up. And it was okay if the ceremony started a half hour later so that they could have it where they wanted, because she, you know, had buffered in that time. And that is our tip too. You spend so much money on this beautiful venue, and many people don't take the time, give the allotted time for capturing this beautiful place and themselves with their guests in this beautiful place.
Yeah, I think the thing that comes down to the most stress, there's a lot of things that could stress you out on a wedding day, but top number one is time. Looking at that timeline, a lot of things could go wrong with food, weather, you know, vendors not showing up or whatever, accidents on freeways. But as far as stressing and what you could control ahead of time, is timing your day correctly.
Anyways, what was our third tip?
What was our third tip?
I don't know.
It was, might have just wanted to talk about
Third tip, and that is
picking the
right wedding coordinator. Basically, you know, they work with the videographer, the photographer. They make sure that they're there at every moment to capture everything, that they are in the loop with all the changes that might go on throughout your wedding day, depending on what happens. Something always comes up. And so I think choosing your vendors, whether it's a photographer or a videographer, but especially a wedding coordinator, is crucial in kind of the flow and success of your day. Really understands your vision and is there for you, not to just make themselves look good, but more importantly, to make your day a success and special. And that's something we love, working with people like that, because, you know, that's what we want to do. We want to capture people's stories and be able to really allow them to relive their wedding day over and over again the way they remembered it, as special as they remembered it.
Yeah, I mean, the tips that we've talked about today all tie into this one tip, essentially, is that your wedding coordinator is essentially that. They're coordinating the day, your schedule, the timing, your plan B. All this needs to be discussed, and how your wedding planner performs on the day of. It's a position of power. We've worked with some wedding planners that kind of take that power and they use it to make themselves look good, rather than what is going to make the day less stressful, what's not going to tick off all the vendors, but rather what it's about the couple. I mean, for us, our philosophy is our first job is to make sure the day goes well. Second is to capture all of it. I mean, for us, making sure the day's successful and that it's stress-free is what we want to do top notch all the time.
Definitely. The Maya was a great venue.
Yeah.
They were really easy to work with and really flexible when all the changes went up.
Yeah, and 517 has a relationship with that. I mean, the sales team and the 517 team worked so well together, and the day became more of a success because of it. So.
And a good point of contact for 517, if you're interested, is Christine Miller.
Yeah, check out her link, her information in the description. I'm holding her business card that we got from her the day of. But major props to her and her team. Can't say enough good things about her.
We also worked with an awesome photographer who was so flexible and so willing to work with the bride and groom, and not to mention the fact that she was relatable and really friendly. Her name is Melissa Vossler, and she was really great to work with.
Went on her Facebook, looked at some of the pictures from the wedding day. They caught a really awesome image of the couple coming down from the altar.
No, just coming down the aisle.
Coming down the aisle, yeah.
With the confetti.
The confetti throwing, that a good one. So check out her Facebook. We'll put the link down below to see that picture. But awesome photographer. Recommend her big time.
Yeah. So.
You said it.
So, well, I need to say, like, I'm Janessa, and this is Brandon Blair, and we're Blair Wedding Studio, and we do videography for weddings. Like, we need to say what we do.
Yeah.
We're not just commentators on weddings.
Regardless of our awesome on-camera skills, we actually are behind the camera. Yeah. So
we do much better videos for weddings.
Yeah, behind the camera. I'm a lot better behind the camera than in front of the camera.
Right.
So
make sure you play Rock the Boat during dinner.
Yeah.